So I'm going to bring on the next speaker, and TOJU. TOJU, you are there. I'm going to just enable your video. I hope I can do that. Okay. TOJU, you are welcome.
Hi.
Hi, TOJU. TOJU is one of the key people there in Google. Am I right?
Yes.
Fantastic. And we are delighted to have you this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, not just joining us, you've been a key part of this debate and this issue and ensuring that change starts and change is cemented. And you're going to be talking to us, TOJU, this afternoon about racial bias in artificial intelligence and potential known solutions. So TOJU, can we have you on camera there?
All right, so yeah.
Your beautiful face all done up.
Sorry, I thought my video was on. I'm still getting used to Zoom.
Okay, so thank you very much, and the floor is yours, TOJU. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for having me. Hi everyone, TOJU Duke, based here in Dublin. I currently work as a product lead in Google, focusing on travel, but I have a very keen interest in artificial intelligence. So I do advocacy on AI, artificial intelligence. I'm looking into it a bit more and looking a bit more into machine learning, fairness and bias and all of that good works. So I think, with the current situation that has happened in the past 2 weeks, nothing new really. It's just, I think everyone has gotten a different slant to it now. All the protests happening, we know that, this is probably the time for us to step forward and aim towards making a real change towards racism across the globe and in Ireland as well. And that also applies to technology and artificial intelligence. Because if the society we're living in is racist, the people who create these AI systems, depending on if they're racist or not, they will have some form of bias. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what AI is, just very quickly, so that we're all on the same page, how it works, what are the current challenges that we have, potential solutions that some are in the works, some should be in the works, and that we could actually start thinking of in society in terms of solutions we can work towards reducing bias overall in automated systems and in artificial intelligence. So a very quick run through on AI and exactly what it signifies. Basically, in layman's terms, it's a computer-based system, which is usually trained to recognize patterns and comes up with predictions and solutions based on the patterns that it's been trained on. So the keywords here that we need to pay attention to, right, is someone is training the systems or it's being trained on something. Many times, the main key element in training AI systems is data. And that's where bias comes into play, because many times the data is not inclusive. It doesn't represent all elements of society, including race or gender. And the outcomes of that is actually very detrimental to different aspects in society. So let's look at some areas or industries that we've seen racial bias in AI systems. Criminal justice is one of them. Healthcare is another one. Financial systems and housing. So I'll give an example in healthcare. So research shows that more Caucasian skin than white people are liable to die from skin cancer. But in actual fact, we have more Black people dying from skin cancer. And it's very similar to the situation we've had with COVID, where in certain parts of the world, like the US or the UK, it seems that more Black people are dying from COVID as opposed to white people. And why is that the case, right? And many times it doesn't just have to do with genetics. So with the example of cancer, for instance, what we've learned is that, the data that the AI systems have been trained on does not inclusively have a lot of Black people in that data. So it's like 5%, right? Compared to the 95% of white people that it has in the data. So when an AI system tests, is trying to predict cancer in a Black person, it cannot recognize the symptoms because it's not trained on that data. And that's one example. And it goes down to, looking at criminal justice, where again, the data is not inclusive enough. It doesn't have enough Black people represented in the data. and the recommendations it comes up with are not suitable for the people or for Black people, the Black races. Again, it goes down to financial systems. You know, it could be looking at different demographics. It sees someone in a low income demographic area, it just automatically believes that those people cannot afford, you know, the loan amount that they're applying for based on where they live, and there's no inclusive data there, you know, that has actually shown, you know, do Black people actually live in that demographic area? And if they do, what's the percentage of Black people that are actually middle class as opposed to low class or high income class? You know, we don't have any explainability, and these are AI terms I'm using, but there's no transparency in these systems, and that's something that we're working on. And it goes down to what is called ethical AI, where we're asking, you know, everyone in the AI industry, most people are saying, you know, we need more explainable AI systems that actually explains why did that AI system arrive at the decision that it arrived at. So in other words, AI many times is used for everyday life, right? So we're not talking about robotics here. Robotics is part of AI, you know, having a robot that's giving you a fried egg. That's all part of AI, but many times it's being used for, like, you know, marketing, online advertising, or in social media, in everyday things, right? And when you apply for a loan, you know, the loan outcomes or healthcare, you know, predictions, data, and all of that. So it's used in everyday life. And we want to make sure that it's inclusive. It represents every race in the world. It represents every gender, sexual orientation. I know this talk is about racial bias, so yes, it's all part of the same thing. But for all AI systems and people working on it, they need to be more inclusive. So that leads to the next point in terms of proposed solutions. And this list is not exhaustive. There's so many other solutions you can think of. And I'll probably start off with, you know, ethics, right? Ethics in AI. Actually having rules and regulations being placed by governments. I think Ireland is not at the forefront of AI right now. I think we're all working on it, but it's like, you know, making sure that there is some form of regulation around explainability, around the transparency of the black box in AI. Why did that system arrive at the decision it arrived at? For example, Sarah, a Black race woman, was detected not to have cancer, but she actually did. Why did it arrive at that? Many times they're not able to explain why. And it's really important for us to have the right models and systems, which is currently in the works. So like a lot of tech companies have some form of different platforms and tools for explainable AI, but it's not being used broadly, and there's no regulations around that. Another thing is having diverse engineering teams. So the people who actually build these AI systems, you know, the data scientists, the engineering teams, the analysts, it's important that they represent a diverse verse of people. Because if they do, then they will be able to think through the inclusivity of this data, right? And hopefully there'll be less unconscious bias when building up these data systems. I can give another example, which, you know, was very serious, but I found it funny. It was years ago when Google started Google Photos. It actually leaked, and it showed that, you know, the AI system in that Google photo identified a Black man as a monkey. There's so many reasons to that, right? But again, it goes back to the data that it was trained on. And, you know, it came up with the wrong conclusion based on the data it was trained on. So it's really important that the people that are working on these AI systems have a wide scope of understanding and very diverse backgrounds, including people of color and Black races as well. And I think the last but not the least is funding for AI startups that are being founded by Black people. It's really important because then everyone still has a diverse lens, and we're able to address the problems that relate to a specific race as well. And I think that's it from me. I know I did it really quickly, but yeah, it's just making sure that we're aware that if the society is biased and there's racism, it can go into automation, and we really don't want that to happen.